The engines roared steadily as Flight 287 cut through the night sky over the Midwest, but Rowan Harper barely noticed. Slumped in seat 8A, his head against the cool window, he drifted in and out of uneasy sleep, the weight of the past week's arguments with his family pressing on his chest like turbulence. Then the captain's voice crackled over the intercom, urgent and strained. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain. We have a medical emergency with our first officer, and we need anyone with combat piloting experience to come forward immediately." Rowan's eyes snapped open, his heart slamming against his ribs.
Combat piloting?
He hadn't flown a jet since his Air Force days years ago, before everything fell apart. But as passengers murmured in confusion, he unbuckled his seatbelt and stood, his legs shaky, knowing this could unravel the fragile life he'd built. The flight attendant's eyes widened as Rowan approached the cockpit door. "Sir, are you sure?" The captain said combat experience, specifically military jets, evasive maneuvers. Rowan nodded, swallowing the bile rising in his throat. He was sure, all right. 10 years in the Air Force, flying F-16s over Iraq, dodging missiles and making split-second decisions that saved lives. But that was before the investigation, before the whispers about his lifestyle forced him into an honorable discharge that felt anything but honorable. He'd buried that part of himself, moved to Chicago, started over as a commercial consultant, hiding his sexuality from everyone except Jamie, the man waiting for him back home. The captain, a grizzled veteran named Reynolds, looked him over skeptically. "You flown anything bigger than a Cessna lately?" Rowan met his gaze. "F-16s, sir. Combat tours in the Middle East. I can handle this." Reynolds hesitated, then nodded. The first officer was out cold, slumped in his seat, sweat beading on his forehead from what looked like a heart issue. The plane was on autopilot, but they were heading into stormy weather, and without a co-pilot, landing in Denver would be a nightmare. As Rowan strapped into the right seat, his mind raced. "What am I doing? This isn't my life anymore." Jamie's face flashed in his thoughts. Their quiet apartment, the stolen moments where he didn't have to pretend. If this went wrong, if the media got hold of it. No focus. The controls felt familiar, like an old scar. He adjusted the heading, monitoring the instruments as Reynolds briefed him on the situation. Turbulence hit, jolting the plane, and passengers screamed from the cabin. "Steady her," Reynolds barked. Rowan's hands gripped the yoke, muscle memory kicking in. He banked slightly, compensating for the wind shear. Inside, doubt gnawed at him. "You're not that guy anymore. You left the hero bullshit behind when they kicked you out for loving the wrong person." But the plane stabilized and Reynolds grunted approval. "Good. Denver Towers cleared us for priority landing. It takes 30 minutes. Those 30 minutes stretched into eternity." Rowan's thoughts swirled. His conservative parents in Texas, who still thought his roommate Jamie was just a buddy. The Air Force buddies who'd turned their backs when rumors surfaced. And Jamie, who begged him to come out to stop hiding. "What if something happens to you, Rowan? I want the world to know you're mine." But Rowan couldn't. The fear was too deep, rooted in rejection and loss. As they descended, lightning flashed outside, illuminating the runway lights below. Rowan co-piloted the landing, his voice calm over the radio, but his pulse thundered. The wheels touched down with a thud, and the plane taxied to the gate amid cheers from the cabin. Paramedics rushed in for the first officer, and passengers clapped as Rowan emerged. But he felt exposed, raw. By morning, the story exploded. Hero passenger lands plane. Former combat pilot saves Flight 287. News crews swarmed Denver airport, microphones thrust in his face. "Mr. Harper, how did it feel stepping up?" Rowan mumbled something about duty, but inside, panic bloomed. They dug into his background, Air Force records, honorable discharge. And then the questions turned. "Is it true you left the military under controversial circumstances?" Back in Chicago, Jamie watched the news, his heart swelling with pride and fear. Rowan had done it, saved lives, but at what cost? The phone rang. Rowan's mother, her voice trembling. "Son, they're saying things. About you. Is it true?" Rowan boarded his connecting flight home, but the secret he'd guarded was cracking open. He stared out the window, whispering to himself, "Why did I stand up? Was it heroism or just another way to destroy everything?" The media frenzy didn't let up. Reporters camped outside their apartment building, shouting questions about his military exit. Was it "don't ask, don't tell"? "Are you gay, Mr. Harper?" Rowan slammed the door, collapsing against it as Jamie pulled him into a hug. "You did the right thing," Jamie whispered, but Rowan pushed away. "Did I? Now everyone knows. My family. God, Jamie, what have I done?" His phone buzzed incessantly. Texts from old squadron mates, some congratulatory, others laced with disdain. "Hero, huh? Didn't know they let your kind fly." The words stung, reopening wounds he'd thought scarred over. That night, lying awake beside Jamie, Rowan's mind churned. I could have stayed in my seat, let someone else handle it. But no one else did. Am I proud or just terrified? The next day, his father called. "Rowan, your mother and we need to talk. Come home to Texas. This hero stuff is great, but these rumors." Rowan agreed, booking a ticket, knowing it was a confrontation waiting to happen. Jamie begged him not to go alone. "They'll try to change you," but Rowan shook his head. "I have to face this." As the plane took off for Dallas, Rowan gripped the armrest, the irony bitter. Flying again, but this time into a storm of his own making. Landing in Dallas felt like stepping into a pressure cooker. Rowan's parents, Martha and Tom, waited at the gate, their faces a mask of forced smiles amid the flashing cameras. "Son, we're so proud," Tom said gruffly, clapping him on the back, but his eyes darted to the reporters. Martha hugged him tightly, whispering, "We saw the news. All of it." The drive to their suburban home was silent, the Texas sun beating down like judgment. Rowan stared at the passing strip malls, his gut twisting. Why did I come? To explain? To beg forgiveness for something that's not wrong? But deep down he knew. He craved their approval even now at 35. At the dinner table that evening, the facade cracked. Tom cleared his throat. "Rowan, about your discharge. The papers say it was because." He trailed off, fork clattering. Martha's eyes filled with tears. "Is it true, honey? Are you gay?" The word hung in the air like a grenade. Rowan's throat tightened. "Yes, Mom. I am. And I've been with Jamie for 3 years." Silence exploded into chaos. Tom stood, face red. "How could you? We raised you better. The military was your life. You threw it away for this." Rowan's voice shook. "I didn't throw it away. They forced me out because of who I love. It's not a choice, Dad." But inside, doubt whispered. "Is it? Could I have hidden better? Stayed in the closet forever?" Martha sobbed. "What will the neighbors say? Your sister. How do we tell her?" That night, alone in his childhood room, posters of fighter jets mocking him, Rowan paced. Jamie's text lit up his phone. "Miss you. Stand strong." But strength felt elusive. He remembered their first date, Jamie's laugh cutting through his walls. Now everything was at risk. What if my family rejects me? What if Jamie tires of the drama? The next morning, more betrayal hit. An old Air Force buddy, Mike, called. "Hey, hero. Reporter's been hounding me." I told him the truth. "You were a great pilot. But yeah, the gay stuff got you booted." Rowan's blood ran cold. "You what?" "Mike, that was private." Mike chuckled. "Come on, man, it's out now. Besides, times have changed." But had they? Social media erupted, supportive comments mixed with vitriol. Hero or homo? Can't be both. Rowan scrolled, each slur a dagger. He thought of the plane, the lives saved. Was it worth this exposure? The internal war raged. Hide and live half a life, or embrace it and lose everything? Jamie flew down 2 days later, insisting on meeting the family. The tension was palpable as they sat in the living room. "Mr. and Mrs. Harper, I love your son," Jamie said firmly. Tom scoffed. "Love? This isn't natural." Martha looked away, conflicted. Rowan watched, heart aching. Jamie's hand in his felt like defiance, but guilt gnawed. I'm dragging him into my mess. Should I end it to protect him? The argument escalated. Tom shouting about family values. Jamie countering with stories of discrimination. Rowan finally exploded. Enough! This is who I am. If you can't accept it, then maybe I don't belong here. He stormed out, Jamie following. In the car, Jamie held him as tears came. You were brave. But Rowan whispered. Brave? I feel broken. The drive back to the airport blurred, decisions looming. Return to Chicago, face the media circus, or stay and fight for family reconciliation. Back home, the pressure mounted. Job offers poured in, airlines wanting the hero pilot, but with caveats. Keep your personal life quiet. Rowan turned them down, but bills loomed. Jamie suggested therapy. We can get through this. But Rowan's mind spiraled. What if I can't? What if coming out destroys us? A week later, his sister Emily called, voice hesitant. Rowan, I saw the news. I'm proud of you, but Mom and Dad are struggling. It was a crack of light, but the darkness pressed. At a press conference, Rowan faced the cameras. Yes, I'm gay. And yes, I saved that plane. One doesn't negate the other. The applause was mixed, but inside, relief mingled with fear. Had he chosen right? The costs were mounting, strained family ties, lost friendships. But for the first time, he felt seen. Yet betrayal lurked. An anonymous email arrived, old photos from his Air Force days, intimate moments with a former lover. Pay up or these go public. Blackmail. Rowan's world tilted. Who could it be? Mike? Someone else? He confided in Jamie, who urged reporting it. But Rowan hesitated. More exposure? The internal conflict intensified. Protect myself or fight back? Risking more pain? As the sun set over Chicago, Rowan stood on their balcony, wind whipping his face. The hero label felt hollow. Every choice had a price. Silence had cost his authenticity. Action now cost his peace. Which hurt more? The blackmail email burned in Rowan's mind like a flare in the night sky. $50K by Friday, or your squadron sees the real you. Attached were grainy photos from a decade ago, stolen moments that could ruin what little reputation he had left. Who would do this? Rowan paced the apartment, Jamie watching with worried eyes. We go to the police, Jamie insisted. But Rowan shook his head. And drag everything into the open again? No. Inside, shame and anger warred. Those photos were from a time when he thought he was careful, a brief fling with another pilot during deployment. Now they were weapons. Am I paying for my past sins? Or is this just the world's cruelty? He wired the money anonymously, hating himself for the weakness. But peace was fleeting, the extortionist demanded more. Family calls came daily now, Martha's voice softer but probing. Rowan, we're trying to understand. Come home for Thanksgiving. Tom grumbled in the background. Rowan agreed, but dread coiled in his gut. Jamie refused to join. Not until they accept us. The rift grew. Arguments flared. You're choosing them over me, Jamie accused. Rowan snapped back. I'm trying to hold everything together. The internal torment deepened. Love shouldn't be a battlefield. But here I am, losing on all fronts. At work, colleagues whispered, promotion stalled. Hero or not, clients are conservative. Rowan buried himself in reports, but thoughts intruded. What if I had stayed asleep in Ada? No heroics, no exposure, no pain. A breakthrough came unexpectedly. Emily visited Chicago, hugging him tightly. I support you, bro. And I've been talking to Mom and Dad. Over coffee, she shared her own struggles. A divorce she'd hidden. We all have secrets. For a moment, hope flickered. But then the extortionist struck again, leaking a photo to a tabloid. Gay pilot's secret affair exposed. The story went viral. Jamie's boss called him in, questioning his association. Jamie stood firm but came home shattered. This is affecting my job now. Rowan held him, guilt crashing like waves. I did this. My past is poisoning our future. Should I let him go? Confrontation brewed. Rowan traced the email to Mike, his old buddy. Flying to Florida, he showed up at Mike's door. Why? We were friends. Mike sneered, beer in hand. Friends? You hid who you were, then paraded it after playing hero. I needed the cash. Betrayal cut deep. Rowan punched him, regretting it instantly. Police were called. Charges loomed. Back home, Jamie waited, bags packed. I can't do this anymore, Rowan. The lies, the fights. It's too much. Tears streamed as Rowan begged. Please don't leave. You're all I have. But Jamie walked out, the door clicking shut like a final judgment. Alone, Rowan crumpled. The hero facade shattered. Internal voices screamed. You sacrificed everything for what? A moment of glory? Family acceptance that never came? He called his parents, voice breaking. I need you, Martha cried. Come home, son. Thanksgiving in Texas was a minefield. Tom avoided eye contact. Martha fussed over turkey. Emily mediated. Dad, he's your son. Tom exploded. My son? The one shaming us on national TV. Rowan stood. Shaming? For loving someone? You taught me duty, honor. Where's yours? The argument unearthed old wounds. Tom's own repressed regrets. A brother lost to similar prejudices. I don't want to lose you too, Tom admitted finally, voice cracking. It wasn't acceptance, but a start. Rowan's heart ached for Jamie. Was this worth the loss? Media offers poured in, book deals, interviews. Rowan accepted one, pouring out his story on a talk show. Being gay didn't make me a hero or a villain. It made me human. Applause thundered, but inside, emptiness echoed. The costs. Jamie gone, friendships severed, family fractured. Weeks later, a letter from Jamie. I need time, but I miss you. Hope stirred, but doubt lingered. Had his choices been right? The Blackmail case went to court. Mike arrested. Justice, but at what price? As winter set in, Rowan volunteered at an LGBT veteran center, sharing his story. Veterans nodded, their own pains mirroring his. For the first time, community felt real. But nights brought torment. Did saving that plane save me, or doom me? A call from the Air Force reinstating benefits, acknowledging past wrongs. Vindication, yet bittersweet. Rowan stared at Jamie's photo. To win him back or let go. The internal storm raged fiercer. Every decision a trade-off, every truth a wound. How much more could he endure? Snow blanketed Chicago, mirroring the chill in Rowan's soul as he stared at Jamie's letter for the 100th time. I need time. Weeks had passed. Each day a grind of regret and self-recrimination. Why didn't I fight harder for us? Was my fear of rejection stronger than my love? He threw himself into the veteran center, counseling others, but his own wounds festered. Family progress was halting. Weekly calls with Martha brought tentative warmth. We're reading books about it. But Tom remained distant, his I love you strained. Emily pushed. Give him time, like Jamie's giving you. But time felt like an enemy, ticking toward isolation. A new betrayal surfaced. The talk show producer twisted his words in edits, painting him as a troubled gay veteran seeking fame. Social media backlash intensified. Death threats. Doxing. Rowan changed locks, installed cameras, paranoia gripping him. Is this the price of visibility? Hiding was hell. But this is worse. He reached out to Jamie, a voicemail trembling. I miss you. Please, let's talk. No response. The silence amplified his inner chaos. You pushed him away with your indecision. Own it. Court day arrived for Mike's trial. Rowan testified, voice steady but heart pounding. He was my friend, but he chose greed over loyalty. Mike glared, muttering slurs. Sentenced to probation and restitution, it felt hollow. Justice didn't mend the breaks. Inspired, Rowan started a blog. From Seat 8A to Visibility. Posts poured out. Raw accounts of military discrimination, family strife, lost love. Readers responded, sharing stories. One email stood out. A young pilot, closeted, thanking him. You gave me hope. Tears fell. Maybe this pain has purpose. But purpose didn't fill the empty bed. Christmas approached. Rowan flew to Texas alone. The family dinner was awkward progress. Tom asked about Jamie, awkwardly. He left. Martha hugged him. Fight for him, son. Rowan nodded, but doubt whispered. Too late? Back in Chicago, a knock startled him. Jamie, snow-dusted, eyes red. I saw your blog. You're changing lives. They talked for hours, tears mixing with confessions. I was scared, Jamie admitted. But I love you. Rowan pulled him close. I choose you. No more hiding. Reconciliation wasn't easy. Arguments resurfaced. Jamie's resentment. Rowan's guilt. Therapy sessions unearthed deeper issues. Rowan's PTSD from combat, masked by secrecy. I flew through hell overseas, but coming out feels deadlier, he confessed. The therapist nodded. Healing takes time. Social pressure escalated. A conservative group protested the Veteran Center, signs blaring, "No gays in uniform." Rowan confronted them, voice booming. I served my country. What have you done? Media captured it, dubbing him an activist. Fame's double edge cut deeper, support swelled, but so did hate mail. Family visited Chicago. Tom met Jamie, handshake stiff but genuine. Take care of my boy. It was a bridge, fragile but standing. Inside, Rowan marveled. From rejection to this? But at what cost? The years lost, the pain inflicted? A moral del MROs. A publisher offered a book deal, but wanted juicy details on his affair. Rowan refused, but they threatened to dig independently. Publish and control the narrative or risk lies. He chose truth, writing it himself, exposing vulnerabilities. Launch day, Jamie by his side. Proud of you. But as applause faded, Rowan wondered, is authenticity worth the scars? The book sparked debates. Praise from progressives, scorn from traditionalists. One night, a call from an old commander. Harper, you were a damn good pilot. Sorry for how it ended. Apology accepted. But forgiveness? Hard won. As spring thawed the city, Rowan and Jamie rebuilt, stronger but scarred. Yet the internal fire burned hotter. Every choice a sacrifice. Had he traded peace for purpose? A final confrontation loomed. A family reunion in Texas, all cards on the table. Tom pulled him aside. I was wrong, son. Fear made me blind. Tears flowed, decades of tension releasing. But joy was tempered. News of a similar incident, a gay serviceman denied benefits, stirred Rowan to advocacy. Testifying in D.C., he faced senators, voice unwavering. Don't let prejudice ground good people. Returning home, Jamie proposed. Marry me. Let's make it official. Rowan said yes, heart soaring. But in quiet moments, questions lingered. Was the plane incident a curse or blessing? The emotional weight crushed heavier now, losses tallied, gains uncertain. Yet in Jamie's arms, hope flickered. The wedding planning brought a whirlwind of emotions, each decision laced with the ghosts of past betrayals. Rowan stared at invitation lists, crossing off names, old friends who'd ghosted, family cousins still judgmental. Is this what we want? He asked Jamie, voice cracking. Jamie squeezed his hand. It's what we deserve. But inside, Rowan battled. Deserve? After the pain I've caused? The plain heroics had catapulted him into advocacy. But the toll was immense. Nightmares returned. Missiles streaking, but now mixed with tabloid flashes. Jamie walking away. Therapy helped, but scars ran deep. The book tour amplified everything. Crowds cheered in New York, but in Dallas, protesters heckled. Freak! One shouted. Rowan paused mid-sentence, heart pounding. Respond with grace, or unleash the rage. He chose words. I fought for your freedom. Now fight for mine. Applause drowned the hate, but exhaustion set in. Family integration tested limits. Tom offered to walk him down the aisle, a gesture heavy with redemption. I'm trying, son. Rowan accepted, tears stinging. But Martha confided worries. What if it doesn't last? Society's harsh. Her doubt mirrored his own. Can love survive this world? Jamie faced his own demons, job loss from backlash, now starting anew. "Worth it for you," he said. But Rowan's guilt surged. "I pulled him into the fire. Should I have let him go?" The ultimate sacrifice loomed. A bill in Congress for LGBT military rights. Rowan lobbied tirelessly, sharing his story. Opponents smeared him unfit to serve. During a hearing, a senator grilled, "Your lifestyle distracted you?" Rowan fired back, "My lifestyle saved 200 lives on that plane." Victory came, the bill passed. Cheers erupted, but Rowan felt hollow. Colleagues celebrated, but he slipped away, mind reeling. Success? But at what personal cost? Jamie found him. "You did it," Rowan whispered. "We did." Wedding day dawned in Chicago under clear skies. Vows exchanged. Rings slipped on amid tears. Tom toasted awkwardly. "To love, however it comes." Emily beamed. But as guests danced, Rowan pulled Jamie aside. "Promise we'll weather the storms." Jamie nodded. "Always." Post-honeymoon reality bit. A documentary offer relive the plane incident. Accept for awareness or decline for privacy. They chose acceptance, filming dredging up pain. During interviews, Rowan broke down. "I almost didn't stand up. Fear nearly won." The film premiered to acclaim, sparking national dialogue. But hate crimes spiked in response, a friend assaulted. Rowan questioned, "Did I ignite this?" The internal agony peaked. Hero or instigator? Right or wrong? Years blurred. Advocacy grew. Family bonds strengthened. Tom marched in pride, a quiet ally. Jamie and Rowan adopted a dog, dreaming of kids. But quiet nights brought reflection. The choices, standing up, coming out, fighting back, each a double-edged sword. One evening, watching news of another discriminated veteran, Rowan turned to Jamie. "Was it all worth it?" Jamie smiled. "Look at us." "Yes." Yet the question lingered, deeper now, etched in every scar. In a world of prejudice, is revealing your truth a heroic act or a reckless one? Was Rowan right to rise from seat 8A, or should he have stayed silent, sparing the pain that followed?